Hello, my name is Johnson Cauthen, and I run the SE group here at Pureport. Today, I'm doing a short video showing how to connect to AWS via Direct Connect using the Pureport multi-cloud fabric and our Cloud Connect offering. So I'm going to use an existing VPC that I've already created in my AWS environment. I've also already created the Virtual Private Gateway, or VGW. I've attached the two. I've created a Direct Connect gateway, and I've associated that with the VGW. And finally, I've already turned on route propagation for the route table assigned to my VPC. That way it's able to take part in the BGP routing. You can find documentation on each of these steps in the Pureport knowledge base, and of course in the AWS help section as well. So let's jump over to the Pureport console and the AWS console and get started. So on the AWS side, you'll see that currently there are no Direct Connect circuits provisioned. And within the Pureport console, you'll see that I'm already connected to a data center location. To that network, I'm going to go ahead and add a connection to my AWS environment. We'll go ahead and make that an HA connection. I'll plug in my AWS account ID from the clipboard. And rather than go through manually configuring all of the BGP settings, I'm going to let the Pureport platform do what it does best and auto-generate all those settings on my behalf and then provide them back to me in an easy copy and paste functionality within the Pureport console. So you'll see that the Direct Connect circuits are now populated within the AWS console. You'll also probably have noticed that I didn't provide a username or password when I ordered those circuits. And so I have to go in on the AWS side and accept each of those circuits to let AWS know that I actually did mean to order them. So we'll confirm. Typically that confirmation takes anywhere between 30 seconds and a few minutes, depending on region, depending on load. So we'll go ahead and skip ahead to the point where those connections are accepted and ready to be provisioned for BGP peering. Okay, so those circuits are now in the available state. And from here, we'll need to provision virtual interfaces for each one. We'll go ahead and drill into the primary circuit and create my first VIF. So next, we're going to need all the parameters that are needed to complete the BGP peering. And I'm going to copy and paste those from the Pureport console. Typically, the user would be left to come up with all of these values themselves. That's one of the strengths of Pureport's Cloud Connect, is that we auto-generate all of those variables on the user's behalf. So those two VIFs are being created. Again, typically that takes anywhere between 1 and 3 or 4 minutes, and then another minute or two from there for BGP peering to come up. So we'll go ahead and skip ahead again. Okay, you can see those two VIFs have entered the created state. However, they are marked as down while BGP is coming up, but you can also see here on the Pureport side that BGP peering has already come up, and the AWS console typically will lag just a few seconds behind. Let's scroll back up to our primary gateway, and I'm just going to manually refresh the list of BGP routes so you can see this particular virtual router that's connected back to the AWS side already has a route for my data center network. And then once that BGP peering is fully established and they begin exchanging routes, we should see the route for my AWS environment populate there as well. And there's the route to my AWS environment. Let's take a look at the secondary gateway. His routing table is nearly identical, showing again the route back to my data center, as well as a route to his BGP peer for the AWS network. And finally, we can see that the state of those two VIFs has also gone available. AWS console showing that BGP peering is finally reflected as up. So I hope this video has been informative. Please be sure to visit us at www.pureport.com for more information. And thanks for watching.